One App Store rejection cost me 9 days. A missed keyword probably cost me months of revenue. I've been shipping mobile applications with Claude Code for the last year. Inkigo, for example, my AI tattoo application, is live, doing about $650 in monthly recurrent revenue. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the 5 Claude skills that I use to skip the mistakes that actually cost you time. These are the same ones that I ran on my application before and after launch, and they still find things worth fixing. And before we jump in, everything that I'm gonna show you today and more, it's available in my new book, From Idea to App Store with Claude Code. No coding required, so if you are new to mobile development with AI, check it out, link in the description. And now let's get into it. All right, number 1 is gonna be ASO Audit. This skill runs a full health check on your App Store listing. Your application needs to be published already because you need to pass the app ID, and you can just call it like this, /ASO Audit, pass the app ID, and then Claude is gonna do the rest. In case you don't know how to get your app ID, just go to the App Store and you can actually get it from the URL. It says ID, then just copy the next numbers. So what I really like about this skill is that it's gonna give you the overall score. And as you can see, my score is 49, which is pretty low, but that's good because there are some things that I can improve. And also it gave me that rating because it's assuming a couple things. It couldn't see the icon, it couldn't see the video of my application, so it's assuming that I don't have, for example, an app video, which in fact I do have. You notice here, this is actually a video demo of the application. That's actually a huge deal. In case you don't have a video on your application, add it. Should be the first thing that users see. It really helps. It's gonna tell you as well the biggest problem right now. For example, in my case, my subtitle is wasting high value slot because I'm repeating AI tattoos. This is the subtitle. It says create preview AI tattoos, and the name of my app, it's AI tattoo try on, right? So it's basically the same thing. And it's actually giving me some suggestions on how to replace it based on research on my competitors. And this is why I really like this skill, because it's going to research your competitors and it's gonna come to you and tell you how you can improve based on their stats and based on how others are doing it. It's gonna give you as well a competitor comparison table. So based on the analysis, it's gonna give you the highest impact things that you can do. For example, it's telling me, just add a video. It didn't catch that I already have one, so we can discard that one. It's also telling me, this is actually really good. It's telling me to ask my users for ratings, and I'm actually doing this after a user saves an image. I'm asking, hey, do you wanna leave a review? So that's the skill. It's gonna research your competitors and it's gonna tell you how to stand up. And this one is from AppWiki, which it's the creator of the previous skill as well. They are shipping a bunch of ASO related skills. These two are actually my favorite ones. And right now I'm exploring pay ads on Apple search. So this is a massive skill right now because it's going to output the keywords that you should bid high on ads. So it's going to give you something like this. You have to bid high on your brand. Keywords like your app name. This is actually a strategy. Your competitors can bid on your app name. So if they search your app, they are going to find your competitor on the first results in the search. So it's kind of annoying, but that's the game. I really like this as well. It's telling me the category, the core, highest priority keywords that I need to target. And then it's going to give you another table, which is category long tail, lower bids, higher conversion rate. So it's telling me how much I should bid for these keywords. And we have another one for competitor. So it's going to again search my competitors. You can see some of the names that we saw previously. These are applications that are basically doing the same as my app. This is a good strategy. I can just target these keywords. I know that they have a bunch of users, so maybe I can steal some of them. And then it's going to give you more suggestions, the priority validation list. These keywords are really good, and some recommendations. Next one is going to be App Store Pre-Flight. This skill actually takes again your app ID, so just give it to Claude. And this skill is going to run a comprehensive pre-submission testing for your iOS app or Mac OS application. Now, this is actually a pretty heavy-duty skill because it actually uses the App Store Connect CLI to pull data from the App Store, like metadata, and run full comprehensive checks. But if you don't want to install it, because my application right now, it's already in the App Store, it's already approved. I didn't really want to install the App Store Connect CLI. you can skip that and run the check locally. And just to show you some of the output here, is gonna give me a couple of warnings. Some of the things that it highlighted, it's true, because it's actually kind of like a work in progress. I was playing around with Facebook ads and TikTok SDK, but I stopped that, so I'm not using it anymore. And then some things that I'm actually doing right, like entitlements, the API declarations. Guys, I mean, when I was starting, I wasted so much time because I didn't know anything about these things, like the API declarations, like the sign in with Apple, because I wanted to have sign in with Google. Apple requires you to have sign in with Apple. And by the way, all these rejections are basically the inspiration why I wrote my book, From Idea to App Store with Claude Code. Because right now we are seeing a wave of new people that want to ship an application, and we know it's possible, but we actually need to know these kind of details, right? We need a guide that explains how to iterate, how to avoid these mistakes, and how to actually get the app to the App Store, and then being able to update it, maintain it. So the book basically teaches you the mental model. All right, the next one, it's actually a skill that I created myself. It's called App Icon, and you can run it like this. Just install it and then ask Claude, let's create an icon, minimalistic format that do try on application. So I just ran this just to create an icon to show you guys. And by the way, it uses OpenAI API key, so you need one. It's stored locally on your computer, so it's safe to add it. It uses SnapAI. Let me show you. SnapAI is a CLI tool. It basically uses the CLI to create the requests to OpenAI models. So if you want to use the CLI directly, you can run commands like this. You can pass the model and configuration, but if you don't want to do that, so that's what this skill does. You can see this little error because I needed to add some credits to my API. But after that, it's going to generate the icon. It's compatible with Android, iOS 18, iOS 26. It generates the new .icon format that you can open in Icon Composer. It generated this one right now. So let me show you. This is it. This is the icon that it created just with that prompt. It took like a minute. And you can, customize it even further, like adding the liquid glass effect, and just save it. Okay, so most of these skills are about improving or getting your application in the App Store, but most of the work as a mobile developer is to actually create a beautiful UI. So I use React Native for my applications, and since I worked at Expo, I trust the skills from the Expo team. They have this one specifically. This is my favorite one, building native UI for React Native and Expo. It comes with native UI patterns, Expo router navigation, San Francisco symbols, nice animations, liquid glass. I also went ahead and did some research about Swift. So in case you are developing natively for iOS or Android, nowadays, you don't have to worry about the syntax. You can use Claude for any framework that you're using, right? Like Swift or Swift UI. This repo is going to help you a lot. Even if you are doing something crazy with React Native, like creating a native implementation, using these skills will help you and Claude actually implement pretty advanced features. And then for Android, I found the official Android skills from the Google team directly. They can help you with things like set up navigation tree or migrate from XML to Compose, enabling edge to edge, and things like that. If you want to go deeper, two things. Number one, if you're new to mobile development and you are developing your application with Claude Code, check out my book. It covers the full life cycle from idea to App Store, link in the description. And I also wrote a blog post with the install commands for these skills and my notes. Link is also down there. If you want to learn more about skills, check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.